Hello everyone, it's Julie Edwards and I'm back. I'm hoping I'm back. I think I am because it took me forever to get back into this craft room, sit down and work on anything. And what helped me do this was getting into some watercoloring. I broke out my watercolors right here, my paint palettes. I just haven't painted in for so long, let's say maybe almost 15 years shy of when I did the mixed media painting, which was maybe about a month ago. It's been that long, right? Month and a half maybe since I've been in this craft room or made a video. So I thought what I would do is continue on painting this piece, which I painted at my daughter's house last night along with my granddaughter Victoria, teaching her how to paint at age, well, I wouldn't say she's 3.5. She'll be 4 in January. So we just broke out the paints and I said, Victoria, let's just paint. And so this, as a result of that, this is what my paint palette looks like. Yeah. It's been Victoria. Yeah, but that's what a paint palette should look like. Anyway. So I started this piece and I wasn't finished. So if you can see right around here, this section here, this little white space, I was going to extend the leaf in through here, but Victoria was distracting me so much with the water because she was enjoying dipping her paintbrush into the water more than she was putting the paint onto her piece of paper. So she would wet her brush and put a lot of water in there and then just dip it back into the water. And I said, "Are you painting the water?" She says, "Yes, Nanny." So she enjoyed painting the water more than she liked painting her little artwork. And let's see, do I have something? Well, this was it right here. And then she started this. So, and then she gave up by this time to paint the water. Anyhow, I just then said, okay, enough is enough. And this was at 11:30 p.m. when we stopped. You know, Mom and Sissy were asleep, and so I thought, okay, Victoria, let's go ahead and get ourselves comfortable and go night-night. And she wasn't into night-night because she had a late nap. And I said, Jessica, you know, she's gonna stay up late. And she goes, yeah, I know. I said, well, at least I'm here. And so I said, I guess I'm planning on staying the night. So, yeah, came home, fell out right to sleep on my bed, and woke up. Let's see, I got home about 10 o'clock, and I didn't wake up until my husband was skedaddling out the door at 1:30, 1:45. Yeah. He says, well, he says, someone woke up. And I said, okay. And I thought I just took a little tiny cat nap and thought, man, it could be about 11:30 right now. Nope. It was about 1:45. And I was saying, goodbye, hon. Have a nice day. So anyway, I thought, let's go ahead and get into this painting. I wanted to show you, though, a new treasure I found, which is a traveler's size paint palette, which I am completely in love with. And I think I'm going to set this palette aside, but I'm going to use this tray to mix my paints. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside over, let me see. If you see my craft room, looks like I've been working in my craft room, but I haven't been working in my craft room. It just looks like that. It's like everything is where it was when I left it about a month and a half ago. I'm getting some little wipes here for my little water sponge squeegee. I don't know what you would call it. Anyway, that's there. So, let's see, what was I saying? Okay, so I've established this is my little palette here, my paint palette, and I wanted to show you this. I got this at Walmart for $9.99. Imagine that. It has a water tube here, and then you just squeeze it, and then this comes off like a pen cap, and you just squeeze this, and it releases the water, and then you just reconstitute your little paint that you've been working on, and so that is that feature. Let me set that aside. And then let me show you, this is a little sponge where you can clean off your brush. Oops. Forgot to do something here real quick. It's clean water. Okay. So you just clean off your brush with that. And then this fans out. Let's see, fans out with these little pallets of paint, and there's a lot of paint in this. It doesn't look like it because look at how thin that is. But that's a lot of paint, trust me. Watercolor goes a long way. So we have those colors, and these colors, the reds, the greens, and the purples, and the violets, and here's this, and then it comes with a little tray. And this is where the pen goes, but I've been using that as a paint palette too. These little, and let's see, okay, this slides out just like that. So whichever one you're working on, so you've got this palette and this palette to mix your paints. So this, when I was working on this, is when I was working on like my faded hydrangea flowers. I haven't put the details on that yet. I'll let it dry so I can then add the next layer. But that's what I used for that, and these paints are just beautiful. And you just throw it in your bag. You know, of course, it doesn't come with the case. Well, no, it does come with the case. It's just a plastic hardcover that, you know, acetate, that hard acetate container thing, package that it comes in. So that's what I'll probably slip this back into once I find it. I've misplaced it like a few days ago. But this is the palette that I use to work on this painting here, while I let my granddaughter use the big palette. So this is the one that I use, and I'm going to continue to use to finish up this painting. Let me see how I'm going to move this over here. Let me get me better situated, because I am going to zoom into this project so you can see up close at what I'm doing. And mind you, I'm rusty. This was the actual first one that I was working on. I let it dry and totally forgot to take it to my daughter's house. Otherwise I would have worked on this, the hydrangeas, and completed that. But because I forgot it, I ended up painting this. So the reason why I'm doing flowers is because whatever I do here, I'm going to be using this to add into a floral journal, which will be, I'll work on next after I finish the steampunk journal. Oh, and I do apologize that I've been away. Just life circumstances. You know, I thought I was going to lose my oldest daughter again. But God has a plan for her. I'm just really heartbroken right now over this whole situation. But I'm not going to get into that much further. But that's what kept me away, doing hospital stuff and yeah, and other things that, Anyway, I'm not going to go too much into that because I'm not going to get back into that little dark hole, because it was a dark hole for me. That's why it took me forever. I could not get her out of my mind. I couldn't believe that it just, everything like this was on repeat. It's been several times that I've had to go through this with my daughter, but last 2 times, this time and the last time, I thought I was going to lose her. Yeah. So anyway, I will be using this for painting. Let's see, where am I going to place this? I think I can place this. When your desk has no room, where do you put it? I think I'm going to set this aside right over here, just like so. The only thing that I'm disappointed with this paint palette is it doesn't have the actual names of the colors. It has numbers, but in the packaging it doesn't have the numbers. This number doesn't reference anything. It doesn't tell me if it was crimson or fuchsia or, you know, sunrise yellow or whatever, you know. It just doesn't. So what I did was I made this palette so I know what colors that I'm actually looking at on paper, so that I know what to mix. So that's my palette that I have in front of me, and it's always a good thing, you know, whether you're, I wouldn't say this is a seasoned painter. You know, I was once upon a time a seasoned painter, but I've been away from it for so long that I'm having to reacclimate myself to the whole process. So for my case, and any of those that are beginners, it's good to have a palette. So that way you know it matches the colors that are on your palette, so you know which ones to match up. And I put the palettes down in order of each slat or slate or palette. So this yellow, I have the orange and the yellow and the white, and then it goes down to this orange, this red. It's really not red. Fuchsia, that's sort of a pink color. You got a orange and orange red and a deeper orange red, or you want to call that crimson. I don't know. It doesn't have a name. And then the violets. I've got all that on this next palette. I have this right here. And then in this next palette all the way over here. So I know which colors to use. So that's how you want to rearrange your palette when you're working with something like this, or your swatch. Okay, so it's been 13 minutes. Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to try and keep this video, my videos, down to 30 minutes, but I'm just not successful at it, am I? No. I just can't get it together, huh? Because I just want to be a chatty catty. So I'm going to try and zoom in right now. Let's see how I can adjust. There we go. See how much. What's recording is nothing like what's actually on here. The paper is in it, when you see it in person, so much different from what you're seeing in the video. You can see more detail when I'm seeing it visually. I see more detail. So what I'm using, I haven't been able to get to a craft store because there's certain brushes that I would like to use which you can't find in your local Walmart. I want to go with the Remington synthetic sable brushes, and these are synthetic hairs on here also, but the quality is not that great, but it's doable and usable for the time being. just to get my mojo back. But when I go shopping for those, like probably either at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or a special paint store, art store, I will look for those brushes, but I'm only going to stick to 4 sizes. I'm going to stick to on the round, this is sort of pointed, but I want to get the round tips. It's going to be, it'll look like this, but it'll be a little more rounder at the top. I want to get I'll have a size 10, a size 12, maybe a size, not a size 8, but I will get a size 1, a size 1, where's that 1 and maybe a 0. Is that a 0? No, that's a 2. A size 2. I mean, I can get into that later on the brushes. But whatever you have right now, just dabble. If you're having, struggling, trying to get your mojo back and you want something to just start dabbling. This is my rusty dabbling piece that I'm doing for the first time. And I do want to show you this brush. I had my husband order it, but he got it wrong. This is animal hair, and I don't like it. This one, I think, even though this one was, I think, cost me $15, but this is a it's, let me wet it and show you. It's a sharp angled brush. I want to get the Remington Sable Synthetic one, because it has a nice snapback, so that when you're applying it, it whips back into shape. This one you have to be very careful with, because it doesn't have a snapback. See, if you want to snap it back, the hairs kind of go wonky. So what I'm going to use this for is spreading out my water, even though it's probably not going to do the best job. So I don't know. But this one was supposed to end up, this is a silver black velvet. Oops, I need to pause. I'll be right back. Hold on, I'm pausing. Okay, I'm back. However, you won't feel how long I've been gone. I've been gone for a good minute. Anyway, I think where I was last left off was I was talking about the brushes. I need to replace this one with a big round. I think it would be, I don't know what size that would be. But like I was showing you with this one, the one that my husband bought me, it was supposed to be that Remington synthetic, but I need to get the Remington Sable Synthetic, where it's a complete round thick brush for mopping, so that when you're wanting to do a wet on wet project painting, that way it preps your paper. On this one I did a wet on dry, which when you do a wet on dry, it kind of warps the paper. But then again, let me just back that up. The paper that I'm using is not your best quality paper. It's a mixed media paper, which I found at Walmart because I'm getting back into painting. It's this right here. It's 90 pound. Well, 90 pound, 160 GSM. But what I need, this is mixed media, what I need is about a 140, I think, cold pressed watercolor paper, which is better suited for just when you're using a lot of wet on wet watercolor painting. But because I'm rusty and I'm getting back into it, I got this for practice paper. And so this paper tends to warp, you know. I think it's better suited for like acrylic painting. But I guess what I probably should have done before I started painting was to tape all of this down so that when I mopped it, it won't warp that terribly bad. But this one has a little warping going on, but it's still doable. I still can work with it. So I have to zoom out for a little bit to get the whole picture in. Okay. So this is me trying to get my mojo back, and I'm going to work on this right here. So the colors that I'm going to use, I've got my little napkins right here. Let's see if this is going to raise this up too much. Yeah, just do it like this. Because when I was painting this, my granddaughter got distracted me too much, so I stopped. I was going to continue this leaf in here because it kind of looks cut off right through here. See, it's even though it's got the yellow and the light blue going on in here, it's still to me a white space, which I don't like. And this part, while this leaf looks broken like this, is because I think I might add in here somewhere a little worm, a caterpillar that's munching away at this leaf. And that's why I did that. Not necessarily putting that caterpillar there, but it's evidence of a caterpillar eating the leaves, right? And for those that are floral connoisseurs, I don't know if poppies have leaves like these. I just added it just because it's beautiful, you know. I probably should have used a reference photo of a field of poppies, or, you know, but anything goes, right? It's a leaf. We all know that. So the color I'm going to use, I'm going to wet this and get this going here. And grab onto some of this green. I'm trying to pick up a lot of this pigment. And I love this. This is like heavily pigmented. I love, love, love this. So I've got my little cup to clean my brush. I'm going to clean it more in this cleaner water to pick up some more paint, which I want to add. Nope. Take that back. I'm going to start this. Because I don't have much to do, I'm just going to go ahead and start bringing this down. It's down here. I'm painting and finishing up this leaf in here, and then I'm going to pick up some of the black and bring it into here. Oh, that's too much. I need to grab some of my green. There we go. A little more black, and then start adding some depth to the leaf. Get some of this green and finish off this leaf in here. Pick up some of this black. Excuse me. Let me get some of this. I don't know. I would tell you what these colors are, but I don't know the name of it, so I can't reference it. So I'm going to add some of this tint in here, this leaf. I'm going to come in here and finish this off and kind of bring this in. Give it some depth. So right now I'm doing wet on dry. Put too much here, so I'm going to wash this out right here. Mop it up. You know, and just take your time and have fun with it, right? You know, just have some fun. Just adding some dimension with if you just see it pulling, you just take your brush and swatch a lot of the liquid off and just mop it up. So you see how this leaf looks cohesive now, right? So I'm going to take some of this black and while I'm looking at this, I'm going to bring in its vein through here, because remember, it's been eaten up by a caterpillar, right? Okay. And if you know, if you don't like a certain line that you've added, like right here, I made it too wide, I just swatch it off with your brush, your wet brush, and just kind of mop it up. So I'm going to grab some of this red and bring it in over here. I'm just pulling up this water puddle that I used, and I'm bringing this in. A little bit of red to come in and highlight this area. See that? You're giving it dimension. Let me see. I need to pull this in closer. Here, let me rearrange my workstation here. Let me put this over here. I'm going to move the water. I'm going to move my palette. Let me bring this up forward. There we go. Bring this forward, and I'm going to put my palette. Oh, hold on, gotta pause again. Okay, I'm back, and oh my daughter. Let me move this and let's see how that works. Oh, I just think I'm messed up my white balance. Yep, I sure did. Oh my. Anyway, I keep getting interrupted with phone calls, and I'm 29 minutes into the video, and I have just begun painting, but I think I'm going to have to call it quits for now, so I'm probably not going to upload this video because my daughter wants me to come over. We are talking about her move. Her boss is moving her, not out of town, I mean out of the state, but into another town. It's going to be about 5.5 hours away. So we're planning on her move. And this is my opportunity to spend some time with my granddaughters, but most especially Victoria, because she's younger. And her sister realizes it, because it was all about Claudia when she was growing up, and now it's got to be all about Victoria. You know, balanced out. She's a teenager. She understands. But I sure am going to miss this one, because out of all my 7 grandchildren, this one is attached to her nans. And yeah, because they're always all about Poppy. Always all about Poppy. Poopy Poppy. And this one is mine. She just sticks to me like glue. Yeah, so I'm going to miss her. I'm not going to be able to just drive 8 miles down the street. Really. It's down the street, 8 miles, to go and see her whenever I want to. And that's breaking my heart. Yep. Oh, my other grandchildren back in Louisiana, which is about between 7 to 9 hours drive, depending on how many stops I have to make to stretch my legs. Anyway, I didn't mean to leave it into a sad note, but I did want to tell you, once I'm back again in my craft room, which will be probably tomorrow morning, I'm going to pick up right here, because I'm going to fill up all this space right here with some poppies, and I'm going to do some fades in the background. So I'll have some dimension going. So I'll have predominant poppies and then fades of poppies in the background. So that's my goal with this sheet. So, and then this will probably be one of the first of the paintings I put into a floral journal, which that journal is going to be about the gardener, the woman or the man that loves his growing flowers. So it's going to be in, all my artwork will be in there in the form of a page. I add in a tip-in or a tag. So I'll have tags and tip-ins, flips and flaps and stuff like that of my artwork. It's going to be a painted floral journal of all the flowers I paint. And so anyway, I am going to go ahead and sign off here. And I just wanted to put a video out there, you guys, to just let you know what I'm doing to try and get back into my Crafty Mojo, so I can go ahead and start working on my Steampunk journal and finishing that up. One thing is for sure, that I'm in my chair. I couldn't do it in the last month. I'd walk into my room, look at it, and walk right back out. I couldn't even sit in my chair. Just couldn't do it. I couldn't get in here because I just didn't have it in me. I was too cluttered with, life circumstances, things, and just, the worry about me losing my daughter, that I don't want to have to, ultimately end up burying my daughter before me, my oldest daughter. So prayers and good wishes and good vibes, and I would appreciate if you send my way, because I certainly need to be geared up with that strength, because now my youngest daughter is moving away and I won't have any grandchildren near me. So anyway, I think I will load this video, because I just wanted you to know that I'm still here and I'm trying to get back. So this is my attempt right here, people. My people. So I appreciate all of you for tuning in with me to see this little snippet. It wasn't a whole lot, but tomorrow I'll get back in here and we'll continue this process. Because for those beginners that don't know where to start, don't have a lot of money to purchase something, get into watercoloring. And you know, we have the internet, which is an information highway of different crafters and painters. Put on a YouTube for beginners watercolor. Start off with a small watercolor palette, you know, and just begin there. And then, you know, that way you're a part of this wonderful community of crafters. So I will come back, so stay tuned, okay? Thank you for staying with me. I appreciate you. If you like this video or any of my videos, please like and subscribe and share them, please, so that my channel will grow, because I do look forward to coming back. It's just been a tad bit hard, but I'm back. So here's a snippet. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Peace and love.